Hello, in this screencast, I'm going to be showing you how to find information on a topographic map, and I'll be using the map that we use in our geology lab. So what you need to do is open up your lab. You're going to open up your whole map. This is actually just up in Adobe Reader, and as you can see, it's got a lot of information. This is just a PDF version. It has a lot of information in it. And it's been set up in such a way so that you can view it on your computer screen, but if it were printed, it would be a quite large, kind of a standard size map, and it would fill the area. And you can tell that there's a lot here because even though it's filling up quite a bit of my computer screen, it's showing us a scaled down version of less than 40%. All right, so when you're trying to find some information, you're going to just want to get started. I'm going to start by zooming into 100% so we can see at the top of the map there's a lot of information. This was created by the USGS, so the United States Geological Survey. And if you scroll over to the far right side, the information that we need that gives us the name, that's kind of interesting, the name of our map is up here at the top. So we can see this is the Madison East Quadrangle. It tells us the general location. It's in the state of Wisconsin and in Dane County. And then we can see what type of quadrangle this is. This map is actually a 7.5 minute series. So that means it's a 7.5 minute quadrangle. And what that number tells us is that the map from top to bottom and from left to right covers 7.5 minutes of latitude as well as 7.5 minutes of longitude on the Earth's surface. Another common type of quadrangle that you might see is a 15-minute quadrangle. So anyway, that's some basic information about just the name of the map. Now, since we're here in this corner, what you'll notice is that there is this interesting name here going up into the diagonal, and it says 3170 Northwest Sun Prairie. And so this actually just tells me which quadrangle you would need to attach to this corner to see more of the topography. So if you were to imagine walking off the map in this way and you wanted to know which map would show you what's happening right here, you would need to find the Sun Prairie quadrangle. And so that would be written up at the top. Alternatively, there's a really close one right here. Off the top of the map, where did it go? Oh, right here. If you were to walk off the edge and you wanted to know which quadrangle to look at here, you would need to go and look at the DeForest Quadrangle. So if you look at your map carefully, you'll see that every edge and every corner has a name, and that just tells you which quadrangles go off into those various directions. All right, the next thing to look at, we'll just now stay in this corner, is that you can see there are some numbers here, and these numbers tell you which line of latitude and longitude correspond to the top edges and sides of the map. So at this location, we can see this number right here, 43 degrees, 7 minutes, and 30 seconds. That tells us that this line right here, that's the line of latitude it is at. Now you can tell that this is latitude because it goes from left to right or east to west on your map. And if you scroll over to the other side, you'll see that it is also the same value. So 43 degrees, 7 minutes, and 30 seconds. So that again is our line of latitude. At the bottom of the map, you can see that it's different. Now it's 43 degrees and 0 minutes. And so we can see that this whole entire bottom line of the map is sitting right at 43 degrees. Now if we scroll back up to the top, hopefully you're not getting motion sickness, and we want to look at this far western edge or the left side of the map, we can see that for the longitude, now these are the lines that run north to south, it's at 89 degrees, 22 minutes, and 30 seconds. And if we scroll back down to the bottom, it's the same value, 89 degrees, 22 minutes, and 30 seconds. Now over on the eastern side of our map, it's different. Now it's just 89 degrees and 15 minutes. Now the difference between the eastern edge and the western edge of the map will be 7.5 minutes, and the difference between the top and the bottom is 7.5 minutes because again, this is a 7.5 minute quadrangle. All right, so other information that's helpful to find on a map is located down at the bottom. So I'll scroll back down. And on this far right side of the map, we're going to see that, again, we have the name. It's Madison East. We can figure out some more information about it. And it says right here, SE/4. That means it's the south quarter of the Madison 15-inch quadrangle. So again, this is just, if you were to look at the bigger quadrangle, this is just 1/4 of that information. This map was published in 1983, as you can see right here. Up above this, we have a key that tells us what the different colors that we're looking at, or some of the colors that we're looking at, how they're represented on the map. Mostly we can see what the roads are, so different types of roads, where the interstates are. If we move a little bit over here towards the left, we have a reference map that shows the state of Wisconsin with a black dot that shows us where this quadrangle is located. So that's your little reference map. Okay. Right here in the very middle, we have our scales. Now, scales on maps are shown in different ways. One of the most important scales that we can use is the fractional scale, which is written right here. Let me see if I can draw a line around it. It has 1 to 24,000, so that's the fractional scale for this map. And that tells us that if we're looking at it at 100% and we measure a distance, say in inches, and we want to know what the length of this road is in miles, we can measure it out in inches, use this fractional scale to convert that inches on land into inches on the map, and then we can use a conversion factor to convert that into miles. The other scale that we have present are these bars, these black and white bars. These are the let me see if I can draw a line around them. These are the graphical scales, and they're just showing you what 1 mile would look like on the map. This is a measurement in feet and kilometers. Okay, now this note down here that says contour interval 10 feet, that is the contour interval, and that tells you how many vertical feet are between the brown lines, which are the contour lines on the map. And I will talk about those in a minute in a separate video. Finally, this little thingy right here is called a compass rose. This tells us which direction north is with the star, and then the N tells us where magnetic north is. And we can see that it is about 1 degree to the east of north. Okay, so if you had a compass and you were trying to look at it, it would actually be pointing a little teeny bit off, to, in this case, to the east from the very top edge. Okay, the last information that you have on here is information about how the map was created. So this can tell you how they got some of the first information about the topography, how it was checked, how it was revised, when it was updated. This 1927 North American datum tells us what we're measuring those highs and lows, the vertical elevations from, as well as additional information. So if you want to look at the publication date, again, that's always listed here, and you'll see that it does take a lot of time to create and edit and update these maps, and they are updated after time, because as humans we do change the landscape, so we want to try to make these as accurate as possible with our roads and our building information as well. So that is all I have for you about how to find information on a topographic map.